Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're just gonna be comparing and contrasting two of my all-time favorite Sony cameras, the Sony A7 IV and the Sony A7C II. The Sony A7C Mark II came out in 2023, whereas the Sony A7 IV came out in 2021. Now, even though these cameras are 2 years apart, there are a ton of similarities between the two. Internally, these cameras are basically the same. They both have a 33 megapixel sensor. They both can shoot 4K 60 at 422 10-bit, and they also both have burst rates of up to 10 frames per second. The biggest and most obvious exception between these two cameras is that the C Mark II has an internal AI processor which helps it focus on subjects. Now, don't get me wrong, the A7 IV has great autofocus as well, but it doesn't have a designated internal AI processor specifically designed to do that exact thing. And when using these two cameras, I've definitely found that the A7C II does a lot better with subject recognition and just getting in focus faster. Aside from that, I also really like the fact that the A7C II is such a compact camera. And after using it for a couple months and just bringing it on some trips with me, going back to the A7 IV, which is what I'm shooting this on now, I feel like I'm using this really bulky and just heavy camera. And obviously that's really not the case at all. The A7 IV is still a very small mirrorless camera, and considering the things that it can do, it is very, very small. But when you're going back between these two, the A7C II just blows it out of the water in terms of size and weight. The other big difference here is the SD card slot. The A7 IV is designed to kind of be a professional shooter's camera, so it is designed to have two SD card slots where you can simultaneously record media onto both, or you can easily swap over to the other memory card if you're running out of space during a shoot. But honestly, nowadays, with how much storage you can get in a single SD card, it really doesn't have that much of a benefit or that much of an appeal to me anymore. Like, I can just pop a 1 terabyte memory card in the A7C II, and I can shoot for honestly probably a week without even worrying about filling it halfway. Another thing to think about here is just the price. The Sony A7 IV is $400 more expensive than the C2. Like, that's $400 you could either be spending on lenses or other gear like a gimbal to really improve the quality of your footage. And again, both of these cameras are basically the same internally. And honestly, in my opinion, the A7C II is a little better because it does have that designated AI processor. You also have the ability to use the exact same lenses you have with the A7 IV. And honestly, one of the reasons that I love Sony so much is because of how many options there are for lenses. Like, across the board, there are so many different options that are just fantastic that it's like, it makes no sense to me why people shoot on other camera brands, to be honest. So if you couldn't tell already, between these two cameras, I'm definitely gonna go with the A7C II. It is currently on Amazon right now for $2,000, and honestly, that is a steal. Like I said before, these cameras both share the same sensor, and honestly, image quality and video quality look very similar. Like, it's really hard to differentiate between the two. And obviously the decision is totally up to you which of these cameras to get, but this was my 2 cents, and I hope it helped you make a better informed decision when it comes to making a large purchase like buying a camera. If you are thinking about buying either one of these cameras, I left links to both. Just Amazon links to both down in the description below. So if you're thinking about buying it on Amazon anyway, please go ahead and just click that link for me. It does really, really support the channel. Anyways, I think that's gonna be it from me. If you guys had any more questions about either of these two cameras that you think I didn't answer that should be answered, please just leave a comment down below, and I will definitely respond to as many questions as I can possibly get to. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.